Hey, I feel like every year that you've been here now, we've asked you about Kenny and what the next step is, and boy, he took a heck of a step last year. So now what are you anticipating and feeling from him going forward?
Just same old, same old. Like his development has been from day one, and I said this last year, he's a pro. He comes to work every day, and he does exactly what you ask him, how you ask him to do it, and he doesn't play out of his means. And I think he's going to be his best him, and I thought he was last year. I think if he finishes out the year healthy, I mean, his production in the run game was tremendous, and he had the 6 sacks. I think, he's sitting around 8 or maybe 9. I mean, he's unique, but he's a talented guy. He works extremely hard, and he goes about his business every single day. So.
Mike Smith was in here and he was talking about how closely you and he are working together, and how it's one of the best coach-to-coach relationships he's had. Given the similarity of some of the things that those two positions are asked to do, what kinds of things are you doing as far as cross-training?
So I've taken some of the outside backers and worked run fundamentals, and he's kind of taken some of the bigs and worked some of pass rush stuff. So we've kind of mixed and matched a little bit, and then there'll be some guys that'll maybe play inside on certain downs that I'll work with also. So it's just, I'm a run-first guy, and he's a pass-first guy. So now you got the best of both worlds. So
along those lines, I know Zadarius did that a lot in Baltimore. I mean, they used him inside games, whether it's pass rush or even run. I guess, what did you see out of him? And because he does kind of fit sometimes with your guys.
You just go back to his college film when he was at KU. And I may have said that wrong. I may have upset some people, but Kentucky, he played a 4 technique there. He rushed the edge. He played 4 technique. He played 3. He's just big, strong, athletic guy that can do a lot of different things. So, I'm not sure how coach is going to, use him at the end of the day, but he definitely can do a lot of different things.
Back to Mike Smith, he said something along the lines of that you're the best coach that he's worked with.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So what's allowed? what's allowed you two to hit it off in your?
You know what?
4 months ago?
I've got no ego in this thing. I was brought up by Ron Aiken, my college coach, and had some time with Pete Jenkins. Ultimately, I'm here to coach and develop. I didn't invent anything that I'm doing, so there's no ego here. I'm here to work and get better and win ball games and help develop talent. And Mike's on the same deal as me. So there's no ego. And I think sometimes the coaching guys, think they're bigger than, and that's not me or him. So it should be a good mix.
Speaking of developing talent, what do you think you might have in Mon as a player? And what has he got to do this offseason to maybe get to where that point is?
Well, I don't know if you guys watched, but, he was a lot different player last year than he was the year before. So he's taken the right steps. The guy came back in tremendous shape. He looks a lot different body-wise than he did a year ago. He understands now this is how he provides for his family, and I need to do all that I can to be the best player I can be. And he's done that. He's working every day. Is he there? No, but neither is anybody else this time of year. But he definitely is a lot further along today than he was last year at this time.
Jerry, Rob's talking to me, so now I'm afraid that I might have forgotten or missed something. Where do you think Mike Daniels is at in terms of both his tank and, he obviously had an injury last year, but does he fit what you guys want to do still, and is he, what kind of important part is he?
Yeah, he's here, and he's as big a part of it as anybody else. He's still a dominant player. He was a little beat up, but at the end of the day, he's a guy that is very dominant at the line of scrimmage. So he's a big part of it, and when we get him back, he'll be right in the mix like he's always been. You know, the good thing is when the room gets deeper, now you don't have to play him 60 snaps a game or 50 snaps a game. Now he's even more dominant because he's fresher. You know, same thing last year. We had a ton of reps with Kenny and Dean and Mike D at the beginning of the year because Mo went down. So these guys are playing 50, 60 snaps. And then slowly but surely you develop Tyler Lancaster. Montravius starts to improve. So now you bump those numbers down. Now you got a fresh group of 5 or 6, whatever that number is. And now you're constantly putting fresh legs out there. You know, and that's ultimately, you know, the deeper the room, the more competitive it is and the better it is on the field.
So that's the small silver lining to having your 3 starting defensive linemen all end the season on IR, basically?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, some of the things that happened were freak deals. I mean, heck, Tyler Lancaster had a great year, and he ended up hurt at the end of the year. You know what I mean? So it's a physical game that we play up front. I mean, it's a man's game. And for those guys to play that many snaps and get through the year as long as they did, I mean, it says a lot about them. So it's, you know, anything can happen on any snap. So.
You're with Tyler a little bit. I mean, how much has that surprised you, what he was able to accomplish down the stretch, especially when you lose Kenny those last 3 games and kind of the way he had to step in at that most?
It didn't surprise me because I saw it every day in practice. He got better each day. Yeah, when he got here, I would have never said, oh, man, this kid's going to be one of the most productive D linemen we have in the amount of snaps that he had, right? But each day, he was kind of like Kenny when he got here from a standpoint of, you know, one, he was happy to just be in the building, and he was going to do whatever we asked him to do to the best of his ability. If I said, hey, Tyler, you need to lose 20 pounds, he would do it tomorrow, right? If I said you need to put on 30 pounds, he would do it tomorrow. He's that kid, and if I tell him how to do something a certain way, it's going to kill him until he does it right. I mean, that's just his mindset. So I wasn't shocked when he got his opportunity. I wasn't nervous putting him in the game. It was one of those deals where I'm like, all right, bud, go do what we do. So, and he did.
I know it's a totally unfair question, especially at your group, because you guys haven't put the pads on, but what do you think you could have in Kingsley?
You know what? He's an athletic big man that, you know, can play the big end, can play the 3, can play the nose. Probably not quite like Kenny or Tyler, but he could get you out of a game in there from an athletic standpoint, and I think he helps you on 3rd down from a pass rush standpoint. So, you know, I like it. It's early, so I'm not quite sure where he's at right now. It's what, 2 days and helmets, but you know, he's had a good off season so far.
2 more?
I know, again, early, but knowing that got like a Zadarius Smith or even Rashawn can move around, play online or inside, whatever. Do you already forecast out or think about how you'll have to manage? I mean, look, these guys are all competitive. They want to play. Depth is good, but depth also means you're next to me for some plays. Are you already thinking about how you'll have to manage that? Like, it's not a knock on your ability, but these, you know, this defense is going to require some other guys to play sometimes. You
know, first and foremost, that's why you practice. That's why you have preseason. You know, guys that perform at a high level in certain areas, you got to put them on the field, right? So when I say the room gets better when it gets more competitive in there, you get the best out of the guys. But if I'm just a guy that's in there and I know this guy's not nearly as good or this guy, now I kind of drop a little bit because I'm not working where I need to be, right? Now you put some guys in here where I'm like, okay, all right, he can play. Now you get the best Jerry Montgomery, right? So at the end of the day, they know who does this better than the next. So I don't think it's an issue, and I think the guys want to win, and I think ultimately that's what we want to accomplish. So.